Okay, students, can you see this PowerPoint slide? No? No, your voice was not audible clearly. Sorry?
It's still in process, sir.
Still in process. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, here it says your screen sharing is paused. Resume share, okay. Now, can you see?
Not yet, sir.
No, sir.
It is saying your screen sharing is paused.
There might be internet issue.
Pause recording, stop recording, disable, hide video, share computer sound. No. It is saying your screen sharing is paused. Okay, let me share once again, new share. How about this?
Yes, sir. We can see, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, see, students, we have come to last part of this chapter. Okay, pay for performance plans, which is part of unit 4, employee contributions. So in employee contributions, which is one among the 4 policy choices in the pay model. Okay, so in with respect to employee contributions, we are learning determining individual pay. Okay, so pay for performance plans specifically we are learning. Okay, so we have learned what is pay for performance plan. Okay, and then we directly considered the specific pay for performance plans for short term. And they included merit pay, lump sum bonuses, and individual spot awards. We have learned all 3 of them, and now we are in the process of learning individual incentive plans. Okay, so let me directly go to individual incentive plans. Okay, so these are the individual incentive plans. Okay, the types are based upon the method of rate determination and the relationship between production level and pay. Okay, so for each cell, okay, we have considered our different individual incentive plans are recommended, like where the method of rate is determined by way of units of production per time period, number of units manufactured per hour, for example, and where the pay is constant function of production level. Okay, irrespective of whether that many number of units are produced or not, some minimum wages are guaranteed. So we already remember that from straight piece work plan. So similarly, okay, for cell, this is for cell 1. Okay, then similarly for cell 2, where the rate is determined by way of time period per unit of production, how much time is taken to complete a piece of work. Okay, and where again the pay is constant as a function of production, so some minimum wages are guaranteed even if more time is consumed than the standard time. So in this case, the standard hour plan is recommended. Okay, and we have already considered it. Then we went for the third cell, where the method of rate determination is based on units of production per time period. Okay, so how many units are produced per hour, for example. And also the other dimension is where pay varies as a function of production level. Okay, so here actually the pay varies depending on the number of units produced per hour. So there are 2 plans. One is the Taylor differential piece rate system and a Merrick multiple piece rate system. So see what I'm doing is the recap. I'm not explaining. This is all discussed in previous class. So that to maintain that continuity and to remind you, I'm doing this recap. So Taylor differential piece rate system, 2 piece work rates are established. One rate is considered when the worker exceeds the standards. Say for example, if the number of units to be produced per hour is 10. Okay, if any employee produces more than, okay, 10 units per hour, so he is paid the wages on that rate. The second rate is established for production below standard. Okay, so if any employee manufactures or produces less than 10 units per hour, say 9, 8 or 7, so then the second rate is used to pay him his or her wages, which will be lower compared to the first rate. Okay, so this we have already considered. Now moving on to the second type of piece rate system is a Merrick multiple piece rate system. And if you can recall, I covered until this slide, till this slide in the previous class. It operates in the same way as that of okay, Taylor, but except that three piece rates are set. So in the previous okay, Taylor differential piece rate, there are two rates. Rate is how much wages to pay per hour. So one rate and two rate. Only two rates were established. Merrick multiple piece rate system is also similar, but only in this case, three piece rates are established. The first piece rate is which how to pay and how much to pay. High rate for production exceeding 100%. So any employee who exceeds the standard, okay, say if 10 is the standard units to be produced in 1 hour, if all those employees who produce more than 10 units in 1 hour, so one rate, which will be highest rate. Then medium rate for a production level between 83 to 100%. Say for example, if the standard is 10 units per hour and there are employees who produce between 8 to 10 units, okay, 8, 9 or 10. So their wages will be determined based on another rate which will be lower than the first rate. So moderate it is. Then low rate for production less than 83%. So those employees who produce less than 8 units in 1 hour. Okay, so for them their wages will be determined using a lower rate, third rate. So this rate will be lowest among the all three. So when I am using the example 10 units per hour, dear students, please understand it is an example to make you understand. Okay, it is an example to make you understand. All over the world, all factories do not assume the same standard, just for example. And also the illustrations or calculations are based on 10 units per hour. Okay, so now here we are going to compare the or illustrate the Taylor and Merrick piece rate system. Taylor differential piece rate system where two piece rates are established, and a Merrick piece rate system where three piece rates are established. So let us see, okay, how the wages of employees vary under the two plans, under the two pay for performance plans. So piece rate standard is at 10 units per hour. So I hope it is the rate explained. An employee is expected to manufacture 10 units per hour. It is a standard, okay, benchmark. Then standard wages are $5 per hour. Okay, so how the piece rate is determined? How they calculate the wages of the employees who produce a different number of units. Okay, let us consider an employee who has produced 7 units per hour. So the rate per unit is $0.50 per unit. So 0.5 into 7 units, the $3.5. This employee will earn $3.5 under Taylor differential piece rate system. Okay, and so as the same employee will also earn same amount $3.5 under Merrick multiple piece rate system. So as and further they go, you will see how the wages differ. Okay, so then it is employee number 2 who has produced 8 units per hour. So the rate is $0.50 per unit. So $0.50 into 8, $4 this employee will earn under Taylor differential piece rate system. Okay, and same amount will be earned under Merrick multiple piece rate system as well. Okay, now from here how the wages vary from 9 onwards you can witness. So the third employee has produced the 9 units in 1 hour. So the piece rate and Taylor differentially the $0.50 into 9 units, $4.50 he earns under Taylor differential piece rate system. Okay, so when it comes to Merrick multiple piece rate system, see now the second piece rate is applicable, moderate. Okay, I hope we can recall moderate. So for the employees who have produced up to 8 units per hour, up to 8 units per hour, so they are given a wage at the rate of half a dollar per unit. So employee number 1 has produced 7, employee number 2 has produced 8. 8 or less, so 8 or less number of units manufactured, okay, the employees are paid at a rate of half a dollar per unit. Then, okay, those employees who produce 9 or 10 units per hour, those employees who produce 9 or 10 units per hour, so they are given a moderate rate, that is $0.6 per unit. Okay, for fourth employee, third employee, as well as $0.6 per unit for fourth employee who has produced 10 units per hour. So this is the second piece rate. Okay, first piece rate is lowest one, half a dollar per unit for those who produce 8 or less than 8 units per hour. Second piece rate is for those employees who produce exactly 10 units or 9 units, but more than 8 units. Okay, $0.6 per unit. Okay, so the third employee's earnings are 9 units into $0.6, it is $5.4. Fourth employee earnings are 10 units into $0.6, that is $6. Now, okay, the fifth employee under Taylor differential piece rate system earns, okay, so since they have two piece rates, one piece rate for up to 10 units per hour, it is half a dollar per unit, and any employee who manufactures or produces more than 10 units exceeds the standards is given a higher piece rate, that is $0.7 per unit. So under Taylor differential piece rate system, the fifth employee who has produced 11 units, okay, earns 11 into $0.7, $7.7. Okay, the same employee, okay, is also given a third piece rate, which is the highest in under Merrick, half a dollar per unit, $0.6 per unit, moderate one, and the highest rate is $0.7 per unit. Okay, so the employee earns same $7.7 even under Merrick multiple piece rate system, which has a, in this case it is the highest rate. So the only difference is in Taylor differential piece rate system, two rates are used. One for those employees who meet the standard or less than standard, and another rate is, okay, that is half a dollar per unit, and another rate is those employees who exceed the standards, who produce more than 10 units per hour, it is $0.7 per unit. Under Merrick, there are three piece rates. The first piece rate is, okay, half a dollar per unit who produce up to 8 units, okay, up to 8 units or less. Then second piece rate is for those who produce 9 or 10 units per hour, it's $0.6 per unit. And the third rate is $0.7 per unit who produce more than 10 units. See, I hope the plans are illustrated very well. So as I mentioned you, this is one of the best books that the students can have. Okay, so though actually it is very complicated subject, but it is made very easy. Okay, but at the same level, the international standard or quality is also maintained. Okay, so I only hope that you will get to read books. Okay, so before I move on to cell 4, okay, so any questions here? Taylor differential piece rate system and Merrick multiple piece rate systems. Yes, students, if you have any doubts or confusion, you please ask. Hello, can you hear me, students?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and do you have any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. Nishad, you joined, right?
Yes.
I have to mark you present.
No, sir.
Okay, Vaishnavi says no doubts. Okay, so Nishad is present and Priya also joined. So Priya. Priya is also marked present. So if anybody has joined late, you have to let me know. Huh? I will mark you
Sir.
present. Yeah, Nishad
Yes,
and
sir.
Nishad and Priya are marked present now. Okay. So if you do not have any doubt, and dear
Varsha.
students, yes, who is that?
Sir, Varsha, sir. Roll number 43.
Yeah, I will mark. Yeah, Varsha is also marked present. Anybody else who have joined late? Okay, it looks no. Okay. So dear students, okay, so even from employment point of view, okay, those who are planning to make their career in HR or appear for placement processes, okay, see, these are the things what they expect you to know. So if you join compensation section in HR, see, this is a very basic, okay, you may not work exactly according to this, because this is related to wages of the manufacturing workers, okay, but at least these are the basic plans, okay, like ABCDs of compensation, which any MBA student is expected to know, okay, and the beautiful way it is okay, discussed and explained, okay. So I hope if you can capture this knowledge, it will definitely help you in during the selection process of HR jobs, okay. So a story is not being told here, you need to realize, okay. So at a very high level, concepts are clarified with illustrations, okay, examples, news articles, case studies, okay. Yeah, and please believe me that I'm teaching this subject for the first time, okay, but even I am not feeling that I'm teaching it for the first time, okay. So much of knowledge is being brought in, I hope you appreciate it, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So we'll move on to the cell 4 now, okay, where the
Yes,
yes,
sir.
yes, thank you, Vaishnavi. Okay, cell 4 will move on, where the rate of okay, method of rate determination is based on time period per unit of production. How much time is taken to complete a piece of work, as in case of manufacturing of aeroplanes. Okay, you cannot ask an employee how many aeroplanes you manufactured per hour. I hope you understand, right? So where it's a big project, takes several weeks, months, or years. So the entire project is broken into different pieces or sub parts, and for each piece of work or each part of the work, there is some time is allocated. So the employees or team or individual employees are expected to complete that piece of work or part of work within the given time period, okay. And the second dimension is where pay varies as a function of production level. So here, depending on the performance of the employee, his or her pay varies or changes. Means low performers get low pay, high performers get higher pay, okay. So here, provide variable incentives linked to a standard expressed at the time period per unit of production, so which is already explained. So there are three plans here which are considered for this kind of a situation, okay. So first is a Halsey 50-50 method. Okay, under Halsey 50-50 method, the savings from completion of a task in less than the standard time are allocated 50-50 between the worker and company. Okay, say, let me see if we have any illustrations. Okay. Okay, so I'll give an example. Say, for example, there is a car service center. Okay, and the service engineer works for 9 hours a day, just for our convenience, 9 hours a day. Just imagine. Okay, and the standard time to complete service of a car is 4.5 hours. Okay, okay, is hypothetical example. So the standard time to complete servicing of one car or delivery of a car which has come for service is 4.5 hours. So in 9 hours, how many cars a service engineer can complete? Yes, please answer. Yeah, students, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
You want me to repeat the question or would you like to answer?
Repeat, sir. Repeat the question, sir. It
Okay, a
was
service engineer in a car service center works for 9 hours a day. Okay, then the standard time set for him is he has to complete car service within 4.5 hours. So in a 9 hours, okay,
yes.
in a 9 hours, how many car services he can complete?
2 cars,
Two,
sir.
sir.
Excellent, amazing. Okay, so 2 cars. But what happens over a period of time? Okay, the service engineer, due to his experience and expertise, due to his skill, right, he improves the time. So what if he services 3 cars in 9 hours? How much time he saved?
3 hours.
3
Excellent.
hours.
Yeah, 3 hours he saved. Okay, now just assume that the charges for the customers are, let us say, simple example, 100 rupees per hour. You understood? 100 rupees per hour per car owner. Okay, so it will be approximately 450 for each car. 450 for each car. Okay, so 450 plus 450 for 2 cars. Okay, so that will go to the company, and this employee has serviced the 3rd car within the same period. So he has earned additionally 450 rupees. The company has earned additionally 450 rupees. So out of that 450 rupees, 50-50 shared between the worker and the company. So how much is the half of 450?
225.
Yeah,
225.
225 to the service engineer worker and 225 to the company. So I hope you understood that is Halsey 50-50 method. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So almost, so these are simple one, not like the third cell. Third cell one were slightly complicated. Then second plan for cell 4 is a row 1 plan. It is similar to Halsey method. One small variation will be there. So please pay attention. I need not give an illustration for this. Okay. So row 1 plan is similar to Halsey method. Where it differs, the distinction is that a worker's bonus increases as the time required to complete the task decreases. I repeat, the Rowan plan is similar to Halsey 50-50 method, but where it differs in that a worker's bonus increases as the time required to complete the task decreases. How? Let us see this small illustration. If the standard time to complete a task is 10 hours, I repeat, if the standard time to complete a task is 10 hours and it is completed in 7 hours, the worker receives a 30% bonus because he saved 30% of the time within which additional revenue can be generated for the company. Okay. Completion of the same task. Okay. The same task which is where the standard time to complete it is 10 hours. And if an employee completes the same task in 6 hours, okay, it would result in a 40% bonus above the hourly wage for each of the 6 hours. Okay, so I hope the concept is clear. Now tell me same. Okay, so if an standard time to complete task is 10 hours, okay, so if a third employee completes the same task within 8 hours, how much bonus he will be entitled for?
20%.
Excellent, excellent, amazing. Okay, so this is how, okay, you can actually remember it always. You need not by heart the concepts, though good memory is required to write answer descriptive questions. But while answering the questions in selection process, in interview, job interview, group discussion, right? Okay, by hearting will not help. Such examples and illustration will come to your, okay, hand help. Okay, then the third plan under cell 4 is Gantt plan. Okay, in this plan, the standard time for a task is purposely set at a level requiring high effort to complete. Okay, so I repeat, see, like in college, what we do, we teachers want you to read more. Okay, and undertake some corporate projects at a higher level. So why we want it at a higher level? So that you can gain the higher effort you put, the more effort you put, the more knowledge you gain. Okay, or the other way, some students also want to put little efforts. So when we put them in a situation where they have to put more efforts or higher efforts, at least they put moderate efforts. Okay. So that is the way. There is a saying like aim for the stars, at least you will reach moon. That is the saying, aim for the stars, at least you will reach moon. It is based on that philosophy, Gantt plan. So under Gantt plan, the standard time for a task is purposely set at a level requiring high effort to complete. So let us say they will set a very smaller standard time. It means the employee has to really work very hard and put more effort. Say for example, you are asked to run 10 kilometers, okay, in half an hour, or you are required to run 10 kilometers in 1 hour. Under which case you are required to put more effort? Yes, first case or second case? Completing 10-kilometer running in half an hour or 1 hour, where you need to put more efforts?
Half an hour, sir.
10 hours, sir.
Excellent. Same case it is. Same case. Okay. Any worker who fails to complete the task in the standard time is guaranteed a pre-established wage. It is okay. See, even if you don't complete 10 hours in half an hour, it doesn't matter. You'll be entitled for some consolation prizes. Okay, like in a marathon. Okay, so here any worker who fails to complete the task in the standard time is guaranteed a pre-established wage, or guaranteed minimum wages are given to him or her. Okay, but the work has to be completed. And for any task completed in standard time or less, earnings are given at 120% of the time saved. So whatever amount of time is saved by the employee by completing the task in on standard time or in less than standard time, okay, the earnings are given at 120% of the time saved. Say for example, you have set a wages of 100 rupees per hour, you will get 120 rupees in case if you complete the task within the standard time or in less than standard time. That is Gantt plan. Okay, so yeah, that was all about the Gantt plan, Rowan plan, and Halsey 50-50 method, which are applicable under cell 4, where the method of rate determination is based on time taken to complete a piece of work. And on the second dimension, where pay varies as a function of production level. So these are individual incentive plans. So any queries, especially on cell 4?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, so that's great, students. Okay, so let me complete this part. Okay, we have still time. With this, the chapter will end. Okay. So this is in brief advantages and disadvantages of individualized incentive plan. So the whole chapter, what we learned, you can make out pay for performance plan, individual plans these are. Okay. So where depending on their productivity or depending on their performance, every employee earns different amount of wages. So why such plans are included in the compensation? Because they provide some advantages to the employer. Let us see what are they. So these all things we have considered earlier. I'll just mention them. Okay, so these individualized incentive plans, okay, make substantial contribution to productivity raise. Employees will understand if they perform better, okay, they will earn higher. So that is how productivity increases. Okay, when within the same given time period, due to the increase in productivity, it means within the same time period, more number of units are manufactured. So the higher the number of units manufactured, it brings down the production costs. Okay, and increases profit for the organization, as well as it increases workers' earnings. The second, reduces direct supervision to maintain reasonable output levels. So why supervisors are appointed? So that to see to it that workers are doing their work properly and meeting the standards. But if these individualized incentive plans are implemented properly and followed properly, they act as they make the employees self-motivated. So it reduces direct supervision effort. And third, enables labor costs to be estimated more accurately than under payment by time. So as we saw, Okay, along with the production, if you include a software or Excel sheet, the wages of each employee can be directly calculated on the spot based on the number of units produced or amount of time taken to complete a piece of work. It helps costing and budgetary control. So these are the advantages of individualized incentive plans. But definitely, okay, there will be no plan with disadvantages. So let us see what are the disadvantages of individualized incentive plans. Okay, so conflicts may emerge between employees and managers because manager is the person who ultimately decides on the amount of wages earned by each employee. But when the conflicts emerge, when there is no clarity on the method of incentive determination, how incentives or wages are calculated based on performance, if there is no clarity, then conflicts will arise. Otherwise, no. Then introduction of new technology may be resisted by employees because the employees will be deprived of the opportunity of making additional revenue. Okay. Then third, reduced willingness of employees to suggest new production method. See what happens for employees when they're working under certain method of production. There is assembly line, you imagine. Okay, you have visited Tata Motors, okay, where they manufacture Tata Ace Zip, okay, a goods carrier, mini goods carrier. I hope you have visited, right, students? Have you visited Tata Hitachi? Sorry, Tata Motors.
No, sir.
Okay, you visited this LVT Industries, right?
No, sir.
Which factory you have visited?
Parley.
No, sir.
Parley means LVT Industries.
Parle.
Okay. So it is outsourced. Manufacturing is outsourced to third party. Name of the third party is LVT Industries Limited. They manufacture Parle biscuits on behalf of Parle G company. Okay. So you might have gone there. There is assembly line, means from where the flour is okay mixed with the sugar and other ingredients. Okay. Then in the end it becomes biscuit and finally it is packaged. Okay. So if you see that line, it is called assembly line, or you can imagine that as a production method. So employees, after working over a period of time under same production method, they improve their skill. Okay, their ability to manufacture more number of units per hour increases. Say example, those employees who are packing the biscuits, 100-gram packs, for example. So a new employee may be able to pack. Okay, say imagine, okay, 2 packs in 1 minute. Okay, but an old employee who is working since 5 or 6 years will be able to pack 4 to 5 packets in 1 minute. Okay, so if you change the production method or assembly line, what will happen? Again, all employees have to learn the new method. Okay, and their productivity decreases, so as their earnings decrease. Okay, so I hope I will stop the class here, and that is the end of chapter. And if you have any questions regarding this chapter, you can always ask in the next class on Monday. Okay, you heard me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sir.
Okay, okay then. So one last point I'll read out. Increased complaints of poor